political establishment absolutely lost it over a short clip that went viral on social media. It was featuring Representative Rashida Tlaib, and she was at a rally event on behalf of Bernie Sanders. She has endorsed Bernie Sanders, so it makes sense that she would be there. And she was also there with Representative Jayapal and Ilhan Omar. Here's what happened, take a look.
Iowa, we have 3 days. I don't remember if you guys remember last week when someone by the name of Hillary Clinton said that we're not gonna boo, we're classy here. We're classy.
I'll boo, boo. You all know I can't be quiet. No, we're gonna boo. That's all right. The haters will shut up on Monday when we win.
There we go. I was gonna say, a hater said, by the name of Hillary Clinton, we calling names out here, taking shots, that nobody likes Bernie Sanders.
And that was the only shot that Hillary Clinton took against Bernie Sanders. In fact, the reaction from Rashida Tlaib had a lot to do with some of the more recent statements that Hillary Clinton had made in regard to Bernie Sanders. She continues to lie about how much Bernie Sanders fought in order to help Hillary Clinton get elected after she was the Democratic nominee in 2016. Now, before I get to all those details, I do want to give you some of the pearl clutching that happened by people who have no business clutching any pearls whatsoever. Let's start off with Kellyanne Conway, of all people, saying this. This is amazing. Mean Girls squad led by Rashida Tlaib boo Hillary Clinton at Bernie Sanders rally. Are you kidding me right now? Like, that's Kellyanne Conway. So, I mean, look, we all know what Kellyanne Conway stands for. For her to criticize anyone for being mean is ridiculous.
No, hold on. We're not moving on until we point out something very important. Kellyanne Conway, you're worried that they booed Hillary Clinton? Your candidate at the time and now the person you work for as president chanted lock her up about the same Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
One was like, hey, we don't like that Hillary Clinton has personally insulted Bernie Sanders right before an election. The other one is, we don't like Hillary Clinton, so we want to imprison her. Crowds, thousands of Republicans chanting, lock her up, lock her up. Now you think that you're offended by progressives booing Hillary Clinton? Please spare us, you unbelievable, gargantuan liar and hypocrite. I don't want to hear anything from you. Everything that comes out of your mouth is poison. 100%. So please go away.
So then you have some people on the left, theoretically, also clutching their pearls. Here's one example. I consider this highly inappropriate and wonder about Rashida's maturity level, if not her judgment. We need unity, not someone throwing boos at the woman who warned us that we would be exactly where we are today.
What do you mean? We warned you she would lose. We were right. But okay, hold on. This is more important. So you're talking about how you need unity, but Hillary Clinton is the one that is going out right now before the voting starts going, now Bernie's bad. No one likes Bernie. No one wants to work with Bernie. Bernie's terrible. But what she's doing doesn't hurt unity. But if you say, hey, could you not do that? Hey, that's not a good thing. Hey, you know what? I'm so mad about what you said, which that I booed, right? I can't believe it, lack of unity. Can you believe these monsters? I mean, how much can we take of your hypocrisy? It's maddening, and it's maddening that you say it with a straight face as if you're not being unbelievably hypocritical.
What's incredible though is Rashida Tlaib has the courage to speak her mind openly, transparently. She doesn't like Hillary Clinton, and I think she doesn't like Hillary Clinton for a very legitimate reason, and it's because of the trash talking that we've been seeing from Hillary behind the scenes as this race goes on. So like I said, last Friday, during an appearance on a podcast, Hillary Clinton started lying about Bernie Sanders yet again. Now, to give you context, Bernie Sanders did as many as 40 rallies on her behalf in 2016, okay? I'll give you specific details on how insanely packed his schedule was so he could go out and do those rallies for her. But it didn't matter because she's still spreading absolute lies like what you're about to hear.
One of the things that you said in the interviews around that was that Senator Sanders did not have a lot of colleagues in the Senate. That was interpreted by many as saying that nobody liked him at all. There's such a big magnifying glass on anything you say surrounding him. I mean, did you expect to get that kind of response?
No.
Did you know when you said it?
No, I mean, I said it like a year and a half ago. It was 15 seconds in a 4-hour documentary. But I think people need to have to really think hard about who can beat Trump. And it's not the popular vote, as I learned to my own grave disappointment. I got more votes than anybody except Barack Obama once. So it's not the popular vote. It's the Electoral College. And those are going to be tough states to win. So I just want us to be really focused on winning. That's all I care about.
So on that point, I mean, Senator Sanders does have he has a very dedicated base of support. Whether he's the nominee, whether he's not the nominee, he does have a big hand. He has a lot of influence. So what do you think that he can do, whether he's the nominee or not nominee, to help get to that point of unifying people against Trump?
Well, he can do it, for one. That's not our experience from 2016.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
It's unbelievable.
All right.
And let me just clarify one thing. In the very beginning, when she's asked about saying, hey, you said nobody likes Bernie Sanders. Remember the context in which she said that. She said that in the context of other lawmakers because Bernie Sanders is a principled politician who's unwavering when it comes to his ethics, his morals, what he believes in. And so yeah, there are lawmakers, especially in the Democratic Party, who don't like him because he's uncompromising or you can't compromise him. But when she answered that question in the podcast, she tried to make it seem like she was referring to electability, right? But she wasn't referring to voters not liking him in the original statement. She was talking about lawmakers not liking him. So it's funny how she totally twisted that in the context of this podcast. And then go ahead, Cenk.
Yeah, look, I just can't stomach Hillary Clinton lecturing us on electability versus Donald Trump. It's just an affront to logic that I can't stand. We're all gonna sit here and go, oh yeah, Hillary Clinton, please tell us how to beat Donald Trump. All right, so then she says, oh, I don't know that he unified. She barely did any rallies for Barack Obama.
Oh, but she lies about that in the podcast.
Okay, so we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
All right, meanwhile, Bernie did dozens of rallies. No good deed ever goes unpunished, okay, for her. Now, the stat that the press loves to throw around is, did you know that 12% of Bernie Sanders voters did not wind up voting for Hillary Clinton? Now, what they don't tell you is two massively important facts. One is a lot of those 12% were not Democrats. They were independents and Republicans that were coming to the Democratic Party to vote for Bernie Sanders, hence why he was more electable. And then they went back and said, well, I'm not voting for Hillary Clinton. But the more important stat is, do you know how many Hillary Clinton voters didn't vote for Barack Obama and actually did vote for John McCain? 25%. More than twice as many. Why? Because Hillary Clinton did almost nothing to unify. Remember, she's the one that smeared Obama as a Muslim in the first place before the Republicans ever did it. She put out that picture of him in Kenyan garb.
Right, in a turban.
Yes.
In an effort to tank his campaign by implying that he's a Muslim that can't be trusted. That's what her campaign did. So please spare me the pearl clutching in regard to Rashida Tlaib sharing a very real human moment in booing someone who quite honestly deserves to be booed in how she's trying to destroy the Democratic frontrunner in this election against Donald Trump.
So I want to say two more things about this. One is another quote from Hillary Clinton. She said, that cannot happen again. But she went on to say, I don't care who the nominee is, I don't care. Okay, oh, that sounds like she might support Bernie Sanders. She's walking back the comment. Hold on, very next sentence. As long as it's somebody who can win. So wait, all of a sudden now there's a qualifier. If Hillary Clinton thinks you can't win, then apparently she's not going to support you.
Right.
Whether the Democratic voters think you can win, that's why they elect you. She goes, Democratic voters, they were always meddlesome and troubling to begin with. If I think, and all my millionaire and billionaire friends think you can't win, then I might not support you. She goes on to say, and as long as it's somebody who understands politics is the art of addition and not subtraction. Okay, but wait a minute. Bernie Sanders added independents, you took them away. But what she's referring to is there's some moderate, rich Republicans in the suburbs that won't vote for Bernie Sanders. So I think it's subtraction. So if it's not, but I won't support him if he does subtraction. I won't support him if I think I can't win. So in other words, you're not supporting him. That's what in fact, you know how I know you're not supporting him? You're coming out and talking crap about him right before the Iowa caucus.
Completely trashing him.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. So let's go back to the lies about how she behaved in the 2008 primary against Obama, because she not only trashed Bernie, but tried to pretend as though she was above the fray in 2008. Let's take a look.
I know what it's like to lose a hard-fought primary. I got more votes than Barack Obama in 2008, but fewer delegates. I immediately ended my campaign. I endorsed him. I appeared with him. I went to the convention where my delegates really wanted to cast their votes for me because they'd worked really hard for me. And I said, no, I'm going to go to the floor of the convention. I'm going to move his nomination by acclamation. Then I did 100 events for him. Okay. Contrast that to what did not happen in 2016. And that cannot happen again.
She lied. I mean, the lies are endless in this podcast. So first, she tried to make it appear as though she conceded in the 2008 primary right away. That is not the case. In fact, she did something loathsome in explaining why she insisted on remaining in that race, even though it became more and more clear that she had no chance in winning the primary against Obama. So this is an article from the New York Times. It's from May 24th, 2008. May 24th, 2008, meaning that she was still in the race in May of 2008. Senator Hillary Rodham Clinton defended staying in the Democratic nominating contest on Friday by pointing out that her husband had not wrapped up the nomination until June 1992, adding, quote, "We all remember Bobby Kennedy was assassinated in June in California."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes, I had forgotten
Yeah,
that.
so talk a big talk about how you're above it all and how you're so great. But in reality, you were sitting there salivating at the thought of Obama getting assassinated so you'd be the Democratic nominee. That's who Hillary Clinton is. So spare me the pearl clutching about how Rashida Tlaib said boo. You know what? Boo. That's what she deserves. That's what Hillary Clinton deserves. But I have more. Let me give you more.
Can I just say?
Trash. That is a trashy thing to do, to say the least.
Imagine if Bernie Sanders had alluded to, well, maybe Hillary Clinton gets assassinated. What do you think would have happened? He'd have been driven out of politics completely. I mean, it would have been the fury that would have been attached to that would be unimaginable. She says it about Obama, we move on. Now, imagine if Bernie Sanders had said about Hillary Clinton, no one likes her. He would have been shredded. Shredded. How could you say that about Hillary Clinton? She says it about him. They say, oh, Rashida's got to apologize. She did, right? Where's Hillary Clinton's apology for saying nobody likes Bernie? A personal attack. A personal attack. Where's the apology? Is all the media demanding an apology? Has she issued an apology? No.
Of course
double
not.
Standard after double standard. And then they wonder why we get frustrated on social media.
Yeah, so then she says that she did 100 rallies. 100 events.
That's a lot. I don't remember it being 100.
Wow, that's a lot of events.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Is that really what you did? No, that's not what she did. She did 14.
14.
She did 14 when Bernie did, some reports say 39, others say 40. But it was 39 or 40 events, okay, on her behalf. Let's go to some of the reporting at the time. This is from the Wall Street Journal, October of 2016. This is the headline. Bernie Sanders' packed schedule with campaign stops for Hillary Clinton. On Wednesday, he was in Iowa. On Thursday, he made 4 stops in Michigan. And on Friday, he traveled to Maine. On Saturday, he headlines a pair of events in Pennsylvania with more stops to come.
The Hillary Clinton team got questions from Donna Brazile, who at the time was a CNN contributor, and never told Bernie Sanders, never told anyone else, said thank you very much, and willingly cheated in that debate. Let alone the limited number of debates, let alone the money laundering that the DNC did through the states for Hillary Clinton's millionaire donors. All of that and much more. He still did 39 rallies for her. He did 4 rallies in Michigan just in that one day. She did 0 in Michigan for her own campaign. And she then lies and says she did 100 for Obama when she only did 14. But there's never any accountability for Hillary Clinton in the mainstream media. You know, they to Hillary Clinton, but if you say, hey, you know what? Maybe you didn't say the right thing there. Oh, how could you? Lack of civility, lack of unity. And the fact that they can't see that bias shows you how insanely biased they are. because every one of them thinks the same goddamn thing. And so they just can't relate to real people ever, ever, ever.
If anyone actually, in the legacy media outlets, if they actually genuinely care about party unity, stop giving this woman any attention. She's irrelevant, she's not running. There's no reason why she's part of the discourse right now. And all she wants to do is spread her toxic bitterness in this race. And there's way too much on the line to allow that to happen. One final thing I do want to make sure we mention in the context of this story is how Rashida Tlaib responded to the backlash. Now, I would say the response was 50-50. There were supporters who said, you know what, do you? Okay, speak your mind. I believe this is what female empowerment is. This is political speech. It's strong, it's aggressive. I don't have a problem with it, especially when it comes to the establishment and Hillary Clinton trashing candidates the way that she's been doing. But she did release a statement via Twitter, and here's what she said. I'm so incredibly in love with the movement that our campaign of Not Me, Us has created. This makes me protective over it and frustrated by attempts to dismiss the strength and diversity of our movement. In this instance, I allowed my disappointment with Secretary Clinton's latest comments about Senator Sanders and his supporters get the best of me. You all, my sisters in service on stage, and our movement deserve better. I will continue to strive to come from a place of love and not react in the same way of those who are against what we are building in this country. This is about building a just and equitable future for my two boys, children across the country and future generations.
And what is she, after putting out a classy statement like that, what does she get? They said that's technically not an apology. It's not enough. We need you to kneel down.
She doesn't know. She doesn't need to apologize. I think that her authentic moment should be applauded, and we need a little bit more honesty. Because while Hillary Clinton and her campaign will release pictures of candidates in turbans to try to trash them, and they do it secretly in like these shadowy ways, at least Rashida Tlaib calls it like it is, and she's transparent and honest. And that's something that should be applauded.
I'll tell you what I would have done, I'll tell you what Bernie's team did. What I would have done is, oh no, I'm super happy to apologize to Hillary Clinton. The minute she apologizes to Bernie Sanders for saying that no one likes him, it's a personal attack, and I'm sure that Secretary Clinton's gonna apologize to him any minute, and when she does, I will issue my apology to her, which seems fair. Because then what that would have done is draw attention to, oh wait a minute, that's true, Hillary Clinton never did apologize, did she?
Right.
And what she did was a far worse personal attack.
Definitely.
And then now, finally, the Bernie Sanders campaign, his campaign manager, Fast Secure, what did they say about Rashida? Well, they said this, Rashida, you're all good. We love your passion and conviction. Don't change.
I love it.
There you go.
That's the right answer.
Correct answer for Fast Secure and Bernie Sanders campaign.
Don't miss your chance to win a trip to Los Angeles and have dinner with Cenk, John, and me. Just head to tyt.com/dinnerinla to register to win. Sign up for a free Aspirations Spend and Save account. Then you just register your eligibility and swipe your Aspiration card daily on purchases to gain entries. Not only are you entering to win a trip to Los Angeles and dinner with TYT hosts, you're also not depositing your hard-earned money into fossil fuel exploration or production. As a friendly reminder, even if you already have an Aspiration account, you must still register for eligibility into the sweepstakes.